The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Third down and 18, Tyree quickly calling out signals to the Sparrows, desperately looking for a big play, and they got it to Portis for a first down to the Bulldogs' 38-yard line. That's the second time in this quarter on a third and long. Tyree and Portis are able to deliver. Golden hands it off to Black. Black breaks a tackle. Black with a stiff arm. There he goes! Black, you've got to be kidding me! 72 yards! Touchdown, Houston! Second and 7 at the 11, back to pass, swing out Bose. Bose just beat the defense. Oh, done Bose! Stiff arm extraordinaire, touchdown Minneapolis.
It's the SFL live on Twitch TV.
Players in the SFL. Let's start with Baltimore. We're gonna go in alphabetical order. Like not with the players, just with the teams. I'm gonna go offense and defense. Okay, so we got Mike Dazzo, he's a silver quarterback. Elliott Snyder, gold running back. DR Sim, silver wide receiver. Demetrius Aldat, bronze wide receiver. And that's their offensive four. On defense, they've got Henry Hittner, Joe Dazzo. They're the linebackers. They got Alexander Brown and Kenneth Lyons are the corners. Safeties are Eddie Gage and Dwayne Blackwell.
So I guess we'll first meet Mike Dazzo. 107 quarterback efficiency, 28 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, 3,461 yards, leads the league in passing yards per game, 384.6.
If you've ever wondered how real a video game can seem, you come to us. You come to us. If you've ever wanted to know what it feels like, as close as you possibly can get, whatever it feels like to be invested in your own football franchise, you come to us.
And everyone tighten the box early for Cleveland. Play action pass, and Tyree will go deep down the field. That pass is incomplete, but a flag is thrown late on the first play of the game. That may be pass interference, pass intended for Cadilla.
And if you've ever wanted to sort of watch it all unfold in your own living room, you know, you don't have to do anything. You just have to be the franchise, and we will bring the experience to you. You don't have to pick up a controller and have your palms sweating while you're trying to press O or tap it or press it hard, you know, for a different you can just sit there and watch your team execute, be victorious, win a championship. That's what we have here, and it's special.
Guido Trace, onside kick and a reverse field, pops it up, the ball is short and on the ground. Oh, it's picked up by Orlando, past the 30, on the return, breaks a tackle, inside the 10, and down to the 4.
When the SFL came along, I mean, what better way to even think? I mean, if your guy does good, that's almost like a fantasy star. I mean, it's you can't help to get excited about guys that you've created. That it's almost like you're a real owner. You drafted them, you created them, you know, you brought them along, and they either do good by your scheme or they don't.
It's so serious with that. My wife was like, "Are you serious? It's just a game," you know. And I was like, "Honey, it's more than a game," you know. So, I'm texting or either emailing my players, you know, coordinators, you know, and so on like that or whatever. So it's more than just a game, man. This here is real football to the fullest.
I got owners, I can't talk to them 3 days after they lose. They won't talk to me. They're too upset. They're too upset that their team that they spent this time on you know, they suffered a loss. It hurts. But as a commissioner, you want it to hurt.
It hurts. It's supposed to hurt. That's the whole point. If it doesn't hurt, you don't care. And not to sound harsh, but we want to hurt you. You know, I mean that's the whole part of the experience. That's the whole idea. Only one team each year, well, 2 teams each year technically. Only 2 teams each year get to smile. You know, and everyone else should feel upset at the end of it.
Hashtag we want to hurt you. I think that's going to be our next big theme going into the season.
And Sioux Falls a bit stunned. Queen City up 27-24. Daniel Garcia slides, and that's not a touchdown? You got to be kidding me. We're about to break it down. Queen City had to settle for a field goal, which meant they were only up by 6. 30-24 with 5 minutes left. Now 1:35 to go. Sioux Falls down 6, and Tyree hits Cadilla for a touchdown, and Sioux Falls takes the lead with 90 seconds to go. Last chance for Daniel Garcia, fires down the middle. Sioux Falls corrals them, and the Sparrows get the win.
And I'm sure it's frustrating for a lot of people out there who play online games where they feel like they can't compete because they just don't know the game or they don't know the controllers as well as the person that they're playing. So the idea was, okay, well, we got to take the controller out of their hands and we got to sort of level the playing field a little more.
Yeah, and you know, part of that is the appeal of what makes the SFL different from other things, you know, like fantasy football, maybe like the other leagues, because there's an element of hands-off. There's an element of unknown. And when you see a guy that goes 11-1, and then he, you know, the Maulers, they go down in the playoffs. As a new owner, I can look at it and go, oh, even that dude has won so many games and just tore through the league this year. Even he can be defeated by a 6-16.
Get out of here! An overtime victory has stunned the #1 seed in the Gray Conference.
You know, it gives a little bit of hope, and I think it's one of the things that keeps this league intriguing.
So because I wanted our own NFL, so to speak, I wanted to, you know, I got to make it feel like that's what it is. And so I had no commentary experience, but I wanted to bring that experience to people, that NFL experience to people. They could watch their team play on Sunday or whenever they played, and they could, you know, they could watch their own team like they could watch, you know, the Jaguars or the Packers or the Steelers or anybody. And so I just started doing it.
3rd down and 12, and hand off to Anderson again. This time Anderson is in the open field. What a gutsy call, all the way to the Cleveland 45 for a Sioux Falls first down. Johns on the tackle.
And the people in the league were just like, you're really good, man. Like, this is good stuff. And for a while I was just like, yeah, okay, you know, thanks. And it took a while and enough people to say, you know, you're pretty good at this.
That's a 9.5-yard gain up to the Crab of 47. 2nd and inches, no huddle, all the time in the world for the Maulers, 30 seconds. Back to pass, Marconi, looking down the field, caught! Oh, what a spin move! Inside the 10, and Dazzo catches him at the 2-yard line!
I can't say enough about the guy. You know, he was the main reason why I wanted to get involved with the SFL. You know, I remember one day at work, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm Googling All Pro Football 2K8, and pops up, you know, SFL highlights. So I'm like, what is this? You know, so I play it, and I got my little earbuds in, you know, and I hear his voice, and I'm like, yo, who is this dude? You know? I was like, yo, I gotta find out who he is.
I'm really surprised he's not on television because he's that good. It's because of him that I think everybody enjoys the league. The way he brings a game to life is just outstanding.
3rd down and 6. At the 43, back to pass. Dazzo, deep shot down the field. It's picked off at the 36. And Shigeki back to return. That's the 40, all the way to the 35. Dazzo looking for Bishop down the field. Shigeki reads it perfectly. And Shigeki adds to his interception return total, now 8 on the season, and he has been a direct beneficiary of Stevie T. Diggs' play. The 2 star corners for Cleveland, a combined 18 interceptions in 20 and a half games. That is just phenomenal.
I'm just doing what I love to do. I'm just doing what I'm passionate about and what makes me happy at the end of the day.
Then we got Louisville, Skeletor Funk's the quarterback, David Overstreet running back, A.J. Blaylock, Lawrence Kirkland receivers, no tight end, so that's their 4. Then they got Rick O'Reilly, H.J. Latshaw on the line, Andre Khrushchev is the linebacker, Lucius Sanders is at corner, Aaron Tolbert and Ezekiel Freeman are a safety. That's 10, right?
I always say it's like a combination of kind of fantasy football, NFL, and then for me, because I can't play real football, like playing football itself.
We have to evaluate each game. You have to evaluate your players, who's doing what, who's making plays, who's not making plays. Then you have to do your homework on the teams who you're facing come the next week. You have to study film, and see what these teams are doing to make sure that you have the upper hand advantage in getting your stuff ready, and together. So it does feel like owning a real live team, man, because, I have my players on my team reaching out to me. Hey, what's going on? How are we looking? So I feel like Jerry Jones, man, Yes, sir.
So not only are you a fan, but you're an owner, you're a general manager, you're a coach, you're everything to this franchise. And it's not the Philadelphia Eagles, it's not the Arizona Cardinals, it's your creation. It's a team in your hometown that doesn't have an NFL team. It's a team in the town of your favorite NFL team, but your NFL team stinks and you want to bring a championship instead to that town. They can hire coaches. They can sign their own players. Their buddy can be their quarterback. There's so much level of detail to just make everything yours that eventually, people say, look, I look more forward to this than watching the Pats.
That's how I actually feel. I feel like I own this team. I know these players. Their fate, their contract fate is in my hand. My team's fate is in their hand. And at a certain point, and here's the thing, this is what separates us from video games. At a certain point, after you've submitted your playbook, you've selected your abilities, you've selected your players, you've selected their likeness, their names, their numbers, their uniform they're wearing. You make all these personalized choices and you submit them, and here's the key, you let it go. You don't touch a thing, you don't touch a controller. There's no phone calls with your coaches. You're not calling the plays. The computer calls the plays. The computer plays the game. And random stuff happens all the time. You have no control over it. It is the true owner experience. Can't go down there and tell the player what to do.
I believe right now we have something special, unique, and I think the more people that tune into it are gonna find out that, man, this is like I just saw a post earlier. Forget what else is going on TV. I got an SFL game coming on.
Back to pass, Wilson fires down the middle into triple coverage. That pass is complete. What a bullet from Matt Wilson. I don't know how that pass is complete. In between Fierro, Spurgeon, and Gatlin All-Stars. Best pass of the night for Wilson.
Matt Wilson? Have you heard about this? Yeah, the quarterback who I had no idea that he always dreamed of playing football. and never, because of an ailment physically, could never play. And now he gets to see himself. Out there, Santa Fe, kudos to Santa Fe for taking a chance on a kid they didn't even know, putting him in there in a star position, and this kid's on cloud 9.
Conditional wise, I have a tumor near my brainstem, so it's a degenerative condition. As time has gone on, I've lost the ability to walk, I've lost the ability to use my hands. I'm pretty much a quadriplegic at this point. My brain still works great. I have multiple college degrees, but I don't have access to the game like I would love to be able to just catch. Can't do it. This is a good outlet for me to get some of that competitiveness out, even though I'm not actually physically doing it. I can watch my virtual self hopefully do well.
That's been the one chink in the armor for Santa Fe. Throwing that pass in the flat, it hasn't worked out. Deep shot, Wilson, wide open! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Quick, touchdown, come back, and that's the end of the ball game. Santa Fe wins, and the post-game report is next.
That last touchdown throw, and then I was just, I don't know, I was on another planet pretty much. After the game was over, I was hyperventilating, had to take a breath and kind of just calm myself down, because I felt like I'd won the Super Bowl or something. It was insane. And then I downloaded the game, and then I downloaded the playmakers later, and I have all that on my hard drive, so I can relive it, because it was really, it was just, it was something else, let me tell you.
3rd down and 10. If you don't get a first down but complete a pass, you can't spike it. Coleman to throw. Coleman's pass over the middle is incomplete. It's 4th down again. Oh my goodness, right in his hands. That would have sealed the deal. Wow. And if Louisville loses this game, they're going to look back on that play and think about that for a long time. 4th and 10 at the 23. They need the 13.5 for a first down. 4 receivers, 3 to the right for Coleman. Back to pass, Coleman. Coleman will fire, caught at the 6. They have to hurry, down to 12 seconds. They have to get the spike, down to 5. They spike it with 5 seconds. Unbelievable, Courtney Coleman. It's 2nd and goal, and this is the ball game. One last play from 6 yards away for Houston. No timeouts. Winner goes to the title game. He will throw. And Coleman avoids a sack. Throws it. Got it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. DR Sim. He avoided a sack. The greatest play I've ever seen.
Do these fools even realize the work that Cam puts into this? He's manipulating, he's doing stuff, man, as we're broadcasting, and it's just like off the chain. I'm just sitting there, sometimes I'll stop, and I'm just fascinated, just watching him. As he's broadcasting, I'm like, wow. And I had to catch myself, because I need to talk. I need to talk, after he gets through. But I'm just sitting there, he's putting in numbers, and he's talking, he's looking at another monitor, read stats and everything. He knows the score, he knows what team they played, he remembers who the owner was, he remembered that he was traded last year, now he plays for this team. It's a savant when it comes to, Cameron Irvine is a savant when it comes to the SFL, and you just can't replace that.
All right, so Santa Fe, we got Juan Bosco, Nick Quick are the receivers, Isaac Montoya and Daniel Garcia are the backfield, and then they got Ulysses Mora at tight end, that's 5. And they got Tial Alvarado at linebacker. Montero twins, Christoph and Carlo at safety, and they've got Joe Lynn and Frank Flores at corner.
Yes, the SFL is, I think, taking things to the next level. And when I say that, we don't know what the next level is, so therefore you have to be the next level. You know what I'm saying?
I've played fantasy football for over a decade, and it doesn't compare to the ownership, the fact that these are players that you created or that you've drafted, that you've spent time and you've developed, and taking those players out on the field on a playbook that you designed and doing against a person who's done the same. It's a new frontier. This is an entirely new league. This doesn't end in January for your team. This is year-round. This is your players. This is your team. It's your identity, and it's your heart and soul on the field every weekend in a professional quality type broadcast. I mean, you can't replace this. It's not available anywhere else. It has this it factor to it that it connects so clearly with the player, the person, the participant, the viewer. If you own your own team, or you're owned by a team, or you're coaching a team, you're invested.
Welcome to Bagnon Memorial Stadium in San Francisco. It is the SFL championship game between the DC Dragons and the Santa Fe Gorillas. Out of the eye, Zuli going to hand it off to Snowden. Around the left side, bounces it out. And Richard Snowden in the open field. Montero missed a tackle, so did Alvarado. And Brewer's going to try to run him down. And Montero, Carlo finally runs him out of bounds at the Santa Fe 35-yard line. And there's Richard Snowden again.
Only thing I got to say is, Mama, there goes that man.
Garcia back to pass. Deep ball. Quick is wide open. And Quick will scamper into the end zone. Touchdown, Santa Fe.
White rice, baby. White rice.
DC and Santa Fe trading punches. Two expansion teams going at it. It was just something. It was just amazing to witness. I mean, these two guys that had not had a team, had made it all the way to the end. And that's something, now you start to get into the realm of what the NFL can't offer. The NFL can't offer a brand new team coming in and, winning a championship or being able to be successful. Jaguars, Panthers, they're still waiting. Because our league is built on strategy, built on intelligence, built on, if you're smart enough, if you're good enough and dedicated enough, you can win. You just come right in. Just like everybody else. You got the same cap, you get the same amount of players, you get the, there's no, oh, well, you're an expansion team, so you gotta, start with less and then grow. We want everyone to have this same experience that everyone already has. So, watching these two teams play, just unbelievable, the back and forth.
Back to pass Zuli. Zuli will flip it deep down the field. Oh, Corky right over the defense. 10-5 touchdown. And back-to-back scores deep down the field for opposing quarterbacks. Zuli is an extra point away from tying this one up. 7 in the box for DC, showing a blitz. They come with it partially, and Nick T. Quick says, I've got deuce touchdowns. It's 16-10. Santa Fe back on top. Second down and goal. They're going to punch it to Snowden, and Snowden is going to take a little stroll and gets the touchdown for DC. They have their first lead of the ball game. Second and 10, 4.5 to go in the third. Handoff Montoya, gets around the left side. Montoya gets in the end zone. Took a smack from Oakenshield. He said, I don't care, we got the lead. Touchdown, Santa Fe.
Just like I said about Montoya, he goes quiet on you and then bam.
Santa Fe from 41 to go up by 5. It's been a back and forth contest all game, and we haven't had a big lead by either team at all. That field goal from 40 is good. It's 30-25, and here comes Richard Snowden, Greg Corky, and the DC offense with a chance at a title.
So, Santa Fe trying to run the clock out. They're up 30-25. But that's not their MO. That's not the way they play football.
DC all 3 timeouts. That stops the clock with that incomplete pass. Saves DC some time. And off Montoya. He is blown over the backfield. Triple team back at the 37. A 4-yard loss.
DC locked him down. Clock stops. Saves their timeouts. things get crazy.
DC 25, Santa Fe 31-38 to go in the ball game. The Dragons on the kickoff return pass. Oh, goodness. Don't show your mama that highlight clip.
So Santa Fe punts it away. DC's got the ball. At this point, DC's owner is like, I'm done. It's over. Because he was. And if he tries to admit that he wasn't, he was. He was done with it. They were going to have to drive the length of the field to score a touchdown in the championship game to be the first team to ever win a championship game as the underdog.
Second and 1 to the 40, 1:15 to go. Sully back to pass. Sully will flip it outside. That's Revit. He was out of bounds. Led him too far.
The owner swears to it, and I can attest to it because I put in the playbooks every week. There's no shovel pass in DC's playbook. None. But on third down, Zach Zulli, who, by the way, is a real-life quarterback and plays for the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks.
Third down and 1. Back to pass Zulli. Oh! They shoveled it! They shoveled it! For the first down of the Gorilla 49! I'm speechless!
He just flips it. Just to the running. Here you go. And we couldn't believe it. We just couldn't believe it. We just, you know, and Damon's like out of his chair, you know, it's just like.
Can't believe he shoveled past it. Good Lord.
Cameron's going to have a heart attack.
Okay, we got to calm down. We got to compose ourselves because this team's on the move. They're going no huddle, and we got to still call this game.
Out of the gun. Back to pass. Pressure. Sully caught way over the top of the defense. Down to 23 seconds to go. They are out of timeouts. 18 seconds left. They got to quickly spike the football, and Sully does. 15 on the clock.
I'm telling you, the most perfect pass I've ever seen. Right over to Santa Fe dude's hand. Just perfect. Touch pass. Boom, catch, first down. There we go, all, you know, going crazy again.
Sully out of the gun, Corky to the bottom of the screen.
Take your shot to Corky.
Down to 15 seconds left. Sully back to pass. He's going to Corky. It is caught. And he puts it down. Are you serious? Touchdown, DC!
Greg Corky is your MVP, baby.
And we just lost it. We just lost it. We just screaming and hollering, and Greg is yelling MVPs, and Damon is just, Mike is just dumbfounded. He's not saying anything, so he's just totally taking the opposite approach. Damon's over on the other room, flailing his arms around, can't believe what he just said.
And the DC Dragons have won the championship by a miracle on Zach Sully's throw to Greg Corky. And I let the fellas give me a breath while we look at the post-game show stats and highlights.
Wow, this was the game that I thought it would be.
Wow.
That would end up making you lose your voice here in the fourth, and I got close.
At that moment, I was like, this is incredible. This is what we're gonna have for a long time. There's no way we can ever let this just be like, okay, we're done here. It was beautiful. It was just beautiful football. DC won the game. We called the post game. We tried to calm down. We got off the air. We all looked at each other and just high-fiving and just all this stuff because we knew that we saw something and we were a part of something that no one had ever pulled off, no one had ever done before. It was special. It was special to sort of give that guy something that he could never get anywhere. You know, he was a champion. He was a football champion, truly. He game planned, he strategized, he did it. The computer executed what he was trying to do, but it was all him. And he won that championship. I'll never forget it. It was a phenomenal game. After that game was over, I mean, we were fist bumping and bro hugging and like buds, like bros, like there was this bond now between us and everyone there that was watching that game because of just how unlikely it was that a video game between two computers could generate such a beautiful work of football art, because that's what it was.
With the first pick in the Season 7 SFL Rookie Draft, the Queen City Corsairs select running back Ted Haynes III
With the second pick, the Dallas Roughnecks select running back Mike Davis. With the third pick, the Baltimore Crabs select silver wide receiver Mike Osai. With the fourth pick in the SFL Season 7 rookie draft, the DC Dragons select quarterback Cody Cantrell. With the fifth pick of the SFL Season 7 rookie draft, the Carolina Skyhawks select strong safety Avery King at Avery King on Slack. The first defensive player and first bronze player selected, one of Carolina's many picks tonight. Congrats to Avery King, who I believe is the brother of Ethan King, who now plays for the Tallahassee Pride.